I think the problem is just that we have to find a way how we kind of describe the fact that this is not something people should build their site on top of. I think that is the I think it's going to be called demo, but I think we need some word that describes that it's like internal / experimental / something that people are not intended to use as their when they build sites for clients. I guess we have to just post that feedback on the issue and keep thinking of that. Since
yeah, I guess if it's experimental, it means it could break the way experimental modules can break. It doesn't have to staple sound to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so as well.
Would you?
So I think the technical problem is that Drupal core does not have a way to have things that could change APIs unless they are called experimental, internally at least. And the modules that could still change APIs are called experimental because we are experimenting with changing their APIs. And in this case, we would like to use the same offering of possibility to change the APIs, but not necessarily because we are experimenting, but because we want to keep evolving the profile. So technically it needs to be called experimental in terms of Drupal lingo, or we need to come up with a synonym for experimental that applies to this use case. But on the UI, we could use some other wording or some other affordance.
Yeah, so I think what I discussed with the release managers was that, so at first this would be experimental, like any other experimental module, but then it would be marked as internal, like the teams, and then they can change APIs because of it's marked as internal. But that's again a technical term, not a word that we want to use to on the installer, which is the first thing users see. Like they don't know what is internal or what is API. So I guess we just need to figure out a better name. Christina, can you update this thing on the
Sure.
because of
No problem.
so you probably understand it.
What does the content initiative call their content? That's because I presume that's not experimental content. Is that sample content or demonstration content or what?
The API first initiative?
No, the content, the default content initiative.
Oh, so it's part of the installation profile. So it's part of this.
Yeah, right now it's part of the out of the box. It's everything together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe they were using another naming before, and that can be useful.
Yeah,
I think it was sample content on the issue.
Sample. Sample website.
Yeah, has sense. But I will update it and let's see if other people sees it and has more ideas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's. I think that was a good suggestion, but I think the problem is that we will still have to figure out how do we explain that if you don't build their sites on top of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, let's post the feedback on the issue and let's figure it out later. I don't think that this is the time to think about it anymore, since it doesn't seem like we have that many ideas right now.
No. Agree.
Yeah. So, is there anything else that we want to discuss about the installer issue now?
I don't have anything else right now.
Okay, cool. So then we have the issue of creating the wireframes and the default, the content model. So we basically got an approval for the content model and the wireframes, and I think the feedback was that the fact that it's simple, that it doesn't have any complicated data, is not necessarily a problem at this point, because of even with the content model that we are planning to build, we can create a lot of value by building it. So yeah, I think we should then just get into getting it approved. So I think one of the things that would be useful would be to discuss the questions that Aoipso posted on the issue. There was at least few, so thanks Christina for answering those. But there's at least there's at least few things that we probably could discuss. So at least the comment 44, which is about the more recipes. So there's that we have two options, like you said on the comment. So I think we should decide one and go with that. So what I discussed with is this about 44? Oh no, I was talking about the 43 actually, the view more buttons. That's something that I wanted to discuss first, since that one I've discussed with Keith already. So so on the 43 there is the view more buttons on the views on each block. And what we discussed with Keith was that it wouldn't lead into another page, but it would just use the views Ajax to download more recipes on the block. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Sorry, could you repeat the number? I just lost
43.
Okay.
So that would be something that could be done very easily out of the box, and then we could possibly save, I think, one view. I guess that makes sense for everyone, since everyone's so silent. Then we have the 44, which is about the more recipes sections. And so we discussed about this on the last week's call as well. And I think it was proposed that we would use entity reference on this. Was it so?
Yes, I think so, but
Yes.
I want to give strong position here, since we didn't put it anywhere. So just feel free to answer this. But
So how easy would it be? Like, does anyone know how easy it would be in core to do this, like based on taxonomy or based on the one select field? Would it be even possible?
So this would be on the category, right? So if you select the recipe, we can still use the other. If there's enough recipes per category, then it would be the other 4, excluding the current. Am I understanding correctly?
Yeah, so it's about the four cards that are displayed there, and we are talking about how are we going to fetch those four cards. So I guess there's two options: either one that it's a view which kind of automatically figures out which recipes should be shown there based on some rules on the views, or two, it would be just manual entity references.
I'm with you. I see. Okay.
Sorry?
Sorry, am I breaking up?
I didn't hear you.
No, I was just saying that I understand now. The difference, as in, it's either views or entity references.
Yeah, and I think the first option would be better, but I'm not 100% sure if it's possible to build that with the tools out of the box without writing any custom code. But yeah, I guess if it's not, then
I don't know if views.
I don't have my site open right now. My Drupal run, so I can try. Okay, that's something we have to try out. I guess I can try it out.
Leave. I'll say you something on the Slack. See you there. Talk you there. Bye.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm saying that I'm leaving.
Oh, you are leaving.
Yeah, I have to leave.
I see. Okay. See you next week.
See you. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Christina.
Cheers.
I'm reading the other comments. Then we have the search. So this was one of the. So we have the search icon in the top left corner, and should it be expanded/expandable search field, or should it be just like a link to the search page? Do you have a vision of this, Keith?
I was worried you were going to ask me that. I'll be honest, I don't. Are we working to what restrictions we have in core here?
For this one, I don't think we have restrictions because this is mainly a front-end problem, so it's pretty easy for us to write this on the front end. Like it can be just a search block, and we will just theme it accordingly.
I prefer that idea.
You would prefer that it's a kind of expandable field?
Yeah, I think it's more slick than when you click on it. If it loads a new page, it's a slightly slower experience.
Yeah, so my only concern about that is because of we will have accessibility team looking into what we do. So like things like this always add some complexity. Like this is definitely one of the things that they're going to be looking at. So does it bring more value to the product if you do it so? Also, just I'm wondering if the accessibility team is fine that we don't have the text visible, that we have only an icon. The same thing applies actually now that I'm looking at. Oh, the recipes page there, it actually has the text as well. So I think there is no other places where we only would have an icon. Yeah.
Well, the text could still be visibility hidden, but included in the markup, right?
Oh yeah, but I guess there's two things. There is one like how easy it is for screen readers to find the text, and then there's the two, which is just like if you have difficulty like seeing things like this, you might wanna see it in a text. I don't know. I just remember that we had on one of the sites that I work with difficulties that we only had the search icon, and then we had to add search text there. I don't remember what was the background of that. So I guess if everyone still agrees that it's a good idea to make it in place expandable block, then we are going to do it so.
Yeah, I think that would be definitely worth looking into, and I can dig into the accessibility thing as well. Just make sure that that we're meeting the requirements from a sort of, you know, what's out there articles wise perspective.
Yeah.
What might be simpler, Keith, and might take you less time, would be, rather than reading up on all that, if we tell the accessibility team, here's what we plan on doing, what do we need to do to make this accessible, and they can tell us, here's the 4 items that it needs to do, that the focus must be on the input rather than the submit and things like that. Or the action should be on the input rather than submit or whatever. You know, that you don't spend 2 days reading up on accessibility and still maybe missing something.
Yeah, I agree that it would make sense to have the accessibility team more as a more integral part of decision making.
Yeah. I mean, from the perspective of what we normally do, it's normally the standard stuff, isn't it, where your label is supposed to have a 4ID. I think there are ways you can hide it with CSS, but after the session at Front End United by the lady whose name escapes me, I'm now wondering whether I need to double check some of these facts that are kind of in my head. And I guess we can reveal, it doesn't have to be submit the phrase that's typed. Just by hitting enter only, we can have a button appear once the field has received focus. So
yeah, so it depends of, let's say, so there's the accessibility standard, and if you want to fulfill a specific accessibility standard, like level of accessibility standard, you will always have to pair icons with text. And I'm not sure what is our standard we follow. Do we even have any? I was just now looking at the V3C, a non-text content standard. Well, I guess we do have some standards. I'm now reading about the accessibility standards. It's designed to support the development of sites that comply. So Drupal 7 is designed to support the development of sites that comply with VSAG 2 and ATAG 0.0. I don't know if that means that we have to support it out of the box.
yeah, there could well be things we have to do throughout the current designs just to make sure that we're a bit closer aligned to some of that. But I don't think it'll be too severe.
Another thing that I did remember now, I'm going to mention it now that I still remember it, was that we do have it also, I think, on the description text. Yeah, so we will try to meet as many as VSAG 2.0 level 8.8 criteria. And level 8.8 do require that icons are paired with text. So I guess. Let's see.
Sorry to interrupt. I do need to hit the road now. Can I just catch up separately in Slack later?
Yeah. I'm going to post the and because this is it has interesting things in it. And yeah. So it has things such as like contrast and things that we will have to take into account.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, contrast I've had in my mind whilst I've been doing some of this anyway, so I think we're going to be okay on quite a lot of that.
So on 1.1.1, so the first bit of the section is non-text content. It's the very first thing on the standard. Yeah. So if you have to head out, I guess we can continue on Slack and catch up there. Are you?
Yeah, that'd be great. I do need to go, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to be out of office for the next week?
No. I should be starting to be around probably Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay. Cool. So
all right.
See you next week then, and have a
thank you, everybody.
holiday.
Yeah, I'm going to go and grab a break. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a good holiday. Bye.
Cheers. Take care, folks.